Assalamu alaikum. This is the second part of solving exam number 2. Which of the following is a graph of the solution set for the inequality? This one. To solve this inequality, just write it as equation x squared plus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0 and try to solve it by factorization or by any mean. X squared is x times x and the 12 is 2 times 6. Both positive. So x is negative 2 and or x is negative 6. Okay, this expression, this parabola is like this. Open upwards and intersect with x-axis at these 2 points, negative 6 and negative 2. And this quadratic equation is positive, bigger than 0 means a positive, okay, in this outer part. Okay, so solution of this one. D, from negative infinity to negative 6, union negative 2 and infinity. Okay. Solve the rational equation. This rational equation consists of numerator and denominator. Denominator, as you see, is always positive value. It's expression squared. And the numerator 1 minus x times x minus 3. I want this one to be less than or equal 0, means non-positive value. Just to take this numerator and put it equal 0 and solve it. 1 minus x into x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 or x is equal to 3. Okay. This, when you multiply this, the leading term will be negative x squared. It means it's a parabola open downwards and intersect with x-axis at the points 1 and 3 here, the roots you get. Okay. I want this expression less than 0 means negative. The negative here, the answer is negative in this part because this curve, this part down, lies down x-axis means it's drawn corresponding to the negative part of y-axis. Look, this part drawn to the negative part of y-axis, so the function is negative in this interval. From negative infinity until 1 closed because you have here, equal 0, no problem. Negative 1, infinity to 1, and union 3 and infinity. So answer is D. 22. The solution of the equation this. Look at this equation. Before solving a rational equation, you have to write the domain of this equation. The domain here, x minus 2 is not 0, so x is not 2, and this x minus 3 also is not 0, so x is not 3. So never the answer be 2 or 3, never. Okay, maybe 1 or 0. You can substitute. This will be if you put 1, I think 1 plus 2 3 over 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Is it equal 1 plus 3 is 4 and 1 minus 3 is negative 2? Yeah, it is wrong sentence, not equal. So the only solution is 0. You will get 2 over negative 2 is equal to 3 over negative 3, and the equation is correct only when x is 0. Okay. Question 23, if x is bigger than or equal negative 1 and less than negative 1, find a and b such that. Look, this is a value or appropriate value for x. I try to find the possible value for 1 minus x over 2. First of all, just to take this original inequality or the given inequality multiplied by negative 1 to make it negative x like this. So negative 5 less than or equal x less than or equal negative 1. Just to take this inequality multiplied by negative 1, you will get negative x bigger than or equal, because the sign must be changed. It's 1 here and 5 here. And rewrite it in this form again, negative x bigger than or equal 1 and less than or equal 5. After that, just add 1 to get the same like this one. Okay, add 1 to each side. So 1 minus x, okay, less than or equal 6 and bigger than or equal 2. Finally divide by 2. Okay, so the answer is the 1 minus x over 2 will be bigger than or equal 1 and less than or equal 3. Thank you, that's it. So the a and b here must be 1 and 3. Where is 1 and 3 here? Yeah, a. Okay, the graph that best represents 3x plus 2y is equal to 4 is what? here you can select only the points that x-intercept and y-intercept. Here the both x-intercept and y-intercept are positive. Here one positive, one negative. Here one negative and the other one is negative, and so on. So here in this equation, both the answer is A, because both x-intercept and y-intercept is positive. How do you know? Right? 3x plus 2y is equal to 4. Divide the whole equation by 4 to get 1 on the other side. So 3x over 4, okay, plus 2y over 4, which is, you can simplify it to be 2 down, okay, y over 2. Look, these two amounts, or the coefficient of x is a positive number, and the coefficient of y is a positive number. So this is only the possible answer for this equation, because both x-intercept and y-intercept is positive. 25. Determine the equation of the line that passed through the point. That's when you are given 2 points. Find the slope or the gradient of the line, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 for any 2 points. You have already 2 points given, so you have 0 minus -1. Look, just subtract y together like this and over x's together. -½ minus 0. So the answer is 1 over -½, which is -2. So the equation y equal -2x, okay, already the y-intercept -1 already given to you. So the answer is A, y equals -2x minus 1. Question 26, for which values of b does the equation has one solution? The quadratic equation has one solution when the delta, the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, the rooted amount of the quadratic formula, is equal to 0. When here in this case, this parabola or this equation just touches x-axis at the point and then go up again. This, it means, has one solution. So if you calculate this value b squared, which is the same b squared minus 4 times the a is 1 and the c is 9, okay, is equal to 0. So b squared is equal to 36. So b is equal to positive or negative root 36, positive or -6. No answer here. I think maybe a problem, but this is the way to answer this question. B must be 6 or -6. In this case, the question will be this. The equation will be like this. Maybe he asked about this value. I don't know. Yeah, the equation may be to be has one solution. Maybe x minus 3 all squared is equal to 0, and x plus 3 all squared. And in this case, when you expand it again, you will get the equation x squared plus or minus 6x plus 9. Okay? So the b here, he asked about b. What values of b? This b must be 6, not 3. 3, this, 1, the square root of 9. Okay, something wrong. This is the way to solve. Multiply. To multiply such expression, just to keep x squared plus 4, and multiply x plus 2 times x minus 2 as x squared minus 4. Okay? The answer is x power 4 minus 16. That's one. Very easy. You multiply first by first, minus second times second. Solve the equation 1 over x squared minus x over 1 over x squared minus 4x. This equation, first the domain of this equation, just to take x squared minus x is not 0. So x into x minus 1 is not 0. So x is not 0 and x is not 1. So 0 is not a solution, of course. And the other domain also, when you take x squared minus 4x is equal to 0, just to take x minus 4 is equal to 0, not equal, to find the domain. So x is not 0 also, and x is not 4. So if I try to, this is the domain. So I have excluded values 0, 1, and 4. The x never be these values. After finding the domain, you can cross multiply and solve, or you can simply, since the numerators are equal, you just write denominators are equal. That's it. So what I want to say is, just I want to erase this one. Okay. Okay. I found already the excluded values of the domain of the equation, and just to take x squared minus 4x is equal to x squared minus x. X squared is cancelled, so negative 4x is negative x. Cancel even the negative, so the x must be 0. Only you have, oh yeah, x is 0, but 0 here is excluded from, so no solution for this one. No solution. The only solution I found it that x equals 0, but originally x is must not be 0. So here, this equation has no solution. No solution means there exists any real value for x to get these two sides of the equation are equal. If the line y equals mx plus b passes through the point -2 and -3, then that's very easy. Just substitute this point. This is a line. This point lies on a line. Only substitute with this point in the equation. So the y is -3. Look, is equal to m times the value of x -2 plus b. So it started with this one. B minus 2m now is equal to -3. So b is -3 plus 2m. Very easy. Where is it? Where is -3 plus 2m? -3, yeah, this one. 29, answer is B. 30. The equation absolute value of x minus 1 is equal to x minus 2 has how many solutions? No solution, exactly one solution, maybe two, infinity, I don't know. For absolute value equation is equal to either a number or expression. You just write like this. X minus 1 without absolute value may be the same x minus 2 or maybe negative x plus 2. Maybe one of these. I don't know. I try to solve. If you took the first option or the first answer, x minus 1 is equal to x minus 2, by removing x, -1 is equal to -2, this is the wrong sentence. Until now, no solution, until now. Take the other option. X minus 1 maybe equals -x plus 2. Yes, maybe. So if you collect x in one side, you have 2x here and 3 here. Over 2, the x is 3/2. Be careful. You see here one solution. Yes, but it's better to take this solution, substitute back in the original equation to check if the answer is correct or incorrect. Let me show you this part. Again, take the value you get, which is 1/2, substitute back in the original equation. So, is the absolute value of 3/2 minus 1 is the same as 3/2 minus 2? That is a question. 3/2 minus 1 is -1/2. Yes, and the 3/2 minus 2 is -1/2. The absolute of negative value is equal to negative value. This is incorrect. You know the absolute value of -1/2 is half. The absolute value always is non-negative number or value. So here we don't have any solution for this equation. We do not have any solution. I start now in section 2 pre-calculus and I solve the first 10 questions and complete the rest of the exam in the part number 3 later, inshallah. F of x is 1 over x, then f of x plus h minus f of x over h equal to what? Very easy question, only substitution. You just substitute. Look what happened. F of x plus h. Go to the function, just substitute x plus h. Very easy. Minus f of x, the function itself, over h. Now, multiply x times x plus h to equate denominator, and cross multiplication x times 1 is x, minus this one will be multiplied here, will be minus x minus h over h. Now the answer is x minus x is 0, so negative h over x times x plus h divided by h means multiplied by 1 over h. You can simply do this if you want. So divide by h1, divide by h is -1. Final answer -1 over x into x plus h. This is answer. -1 into x plus h. Question 32. If f of x equal x squared minus x, then this is the average rate of a change of this function from between the 2 points 2 and a. very easy, only substitution. F of A is A squared minus A. Yes, this is the F of A only. This minus, you have to write it. And F of 2, go to the function, substitute is 2. 2 squared minus 2. Okay, this all over A minus 2. Now simplify what you wrote now. A squared minus A minus 2 squared is 4 minus 2 is 2 over A minus 2 in denominator. Try to factor the upper part, A minus 2 into A plus 1. Factorization of trinomial over A minus 2. The fact cancel this one, so the final answer A plus 1. Where is it? Yeah, this one. The annual profit for a company that manufactures cell phones accessories can be modeled by this function, where X is the number of units sold and P is the total profit in Qatari riyals. The sales level that maximize the company's annual profit is what? Look at this function. This function represented graphically or geometrically by a parabola open upward. It means you have a maximum value here that represents the vertex, which is B over 2A times the value of this, value F of this point. Okay, F of negative B over 2A. So the A, as you see, is negative 0.0001, and the B is 70, and the value of C is 12,500. So just calculate F of negative B over 2A. Negative B is negative 70 over 2A, 2 times negative 0.0001. Calculate this amount, gives you this part, C. 33, the answer is C. Okay, this is the maximum value or the maximum profit the company can reach or realize. The domain of this function, this is a piecewise function defined on this intervals of number line. Just to draw a number line to find the domain of the function, just to go to the number line, you have a negative 1 and 1. Just mark these points on number line. Okay, X less than or equal negative 1, just to draw this interval, closed circle. This is the X less than or equal negative 1. And the other part of the function from negative 1 open, like this, to 1 closed here. This is the second part of the function defined here. And last part, root X defined on X bigger than 1. Just to draw open circle, X bigger than 1. If you add these 3 intervals together, if you join them or union them in one interval, you will get the entire number line. Yes, so the domain of this function is B, negative infinity to infinity, because now if you join these 3 intervals together, you will get the whole number line. 35, f of x is x plus 2 over x and g of x is this. Find the domain of this. To find the domain of division of 2 function, you find the domain of f intersection g minus set of zeros of g. This is the rule for domain of division of 2 function. Okay, so what is the domain of f? Domain of f, all real numbers except 0, because the x is 0, the f is undefined. Okay, just I want to show quickly how to solve it. Draw a number line, mark a point 0. This is the domain of numerator. Okay, this is a numerator. Just make it up here. The function f, this is the domain of f. Domain of f, the numerator, this one. The domain of g. G is also, its denominator is x squared, so here, so also x is not 0. So this one here, also the same domain of f, this is the domain of g. Now I want to divide, except I calculate this now, I want to restrict or take away zeros of g. This function g is 0, g of x is equal to 0 when x plus 2 is equal to 0, the numerator. Okay, so x is negative 2. Now the negative 2 will be excluded also from the domain of G. So negative 2 will be excluded here also, just to make a whole circle, negative 2. Now divide this by this. What's the intersection, I mean? So the intersection is all real number log, the intersection all here, all number line except this point and this point. Because 0 and at 0, the division is 0 over 0 here, 0 divided by 0. And here is something, a number, some number x over 0, also as undefined. For this reason, this is a domain. X is not 0, is not negative 2. 36, the vertex of the function, very easy, negative b over 2a and f of negative b over 2a. This is the vertex of the quadratic function, ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, a substitute now. So negative b, negative 6 over 2a, 2 times negative 3. Okay, negative 6 over negative 6 is equal to 1. This is the vertex. This is only a point. Start with 1. No need to calculate the y, the value. Okay. 37. The average rate of a change of the function this from 1 to 3 is a very simple. F of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1. So f of 3, 2 times 3, 6 over 3 squared, 9 plus 1, 10, minus f of 1 is 2 over 1 plus 1 is 2 over 3 minus 1 is 2. So 6 over 10, 0.6 minus 1 over 2. 0.6 minus 1 is negative 0.4 over 2. Just multiply it by 10, it's negative 4 over 20, which is negative 1 over 5. This one. 37 is also C. Given f of x equal 3x minus 1 over x plus 2 and its inverse, f of inverse is this one, then the range of the inverse. The range for any function and its inverse, the range of one of them is the domain of the other one. So the range of f inverse equal the domain of f. Okay? Go to the f now, this function. What's the domain of this one? The domain of any rational function, as I told you before, put denominator x plus 2 is not 0. This is the domain. X is not negative 2. Thank you, that's it. If you exclude negative 2 from the entire number line, now you can read it as a union of two intervals. Negative infinity and negative 2, union negative infinity, negative 2 and infinity. That's one, B. Okay. 39, absolute value of 1 minus x plus 2, x plus 1. This is a function can be written as, yeah. For the absolute value function, simply just write like this. Write it 1 minus x as it without absolute value. Don't forget to write the outer part to x plus 1. But in the case of this 1 minus x, bigger than or equal to 0. This is the definition of the absolute value function. And take the same amount you wrote now, 1 minus x, with the opposite sign, negative 1 plus x, and don't forget to x plus 1, it's outside. In the case of 1 minus x less than 0, if you simplify this, you will get one of these options. So negative x plus 2x is x, and 1 plus 1 is 2. And even when you solve this inequality, you just write it x less than or equal 1. And the other part is x plus 2x is 3x, and negative 1 plus 1 is 0, which is x less than, in the case or in the interval x less than 1. So the answer is this one. No, this one. Yeah. 3x less than 1. No, where is this one? Yeah, this one, last one. X plus 2, this D. Okay. 39, answer D. Last question, number 40. The graph of function f contains a point A and B. Which of the following points is contained in the graph? The graph of g of x, f of negative x plus 1. Look, the value of A will be affected by this sign. because a is x value, will be negative a. And the value of b, the y value, will affected by this part, will be b plus 1. Okay, so it's negative a and b plus 1. Try to revise the last question. Let me take 41, the same page, and in the last part of the video, I'll explain the rest of this exam. Suppose that a given function f of x intercept with x-axis at negative 2 and 2, negative 1 and 2, then the x-intercept of the graph of this. Yeah. Now consider I have just any function like this intersect with at negative 1 and 2. What happened when you draw this function? Negative 3 f of x minus 2. First of all, the x is negative 2 subtracted from x. You will do the opposite. You will add 2 to this part. Each x value will be 2, will be increased by 2, opposite of what written here. So will be 1 and the x-intercept and 4. And negative 3 will affect the function only for y values. Since these are x-intercept, it means 4 and 0 and 1 and 0. So the y values here will not be affected. If you multiply 0 by negative 3, will not be affected, it will be the same. So the point still the same, 1 and 0 and 4 and 0. So the points will be 1 and 4. Thank you so much. Meet you in the last part, inshallah, soon. Thank you. Goodbye.